Hello everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda. Today this is a guest design team project for My Porch Prints, and I do have to warn you that I have a cold and my voice does tend to disappear when I'm sick, so I have a little tea here. Unfortunately, I have a little tea here, so I might have to pause at some point if it disappears and I lose my voice again. But I wanted to get this out. This took me a little longer than I had hoped it would and expected it to, mostly because turns out that dinky little sewing machine that I had, which was a dinky, I only got it because I wasn't entirely certain how much I wanted to sew, and so it's one of those cheap ones you can get. It couldn't make it through this fabric at all. and it just, yeah. So it gave me an excuse to buy a brand new and a really nice sewing machine. So anyway, so it did take me a little bit longer than I had hoped, but I think the result turned out pretty good. So again, this is for My Porch Prints. The kit that I used in here is her Shabby Dictionary. It's a really beautiful set of design papers that you can use. There are a couple, very few little elements, and I'll show those. They're from her ephemera kit, and like I said, I'll have a link down below to everything. So, and this follows. I've been going through tutorials mostly because, like I said, I'm not a sewer. I'm pretty bad at it actually, and so I've been taking some tutorials to kind of improve my skills because I do love, the sewed look and everything, and so I did take a tutorial from Linda Matthews. It follows pretty closely to the tutorial, but everything is with My Porch Prints. So I'll have a link to that tutorial as well. And so anyways, let's get to it. Like I said, this is upholstery fabric, so it's really nice and thick. I don't know how old it is, but it was in a set of vintage fabrics that I got that were from like the 50s to the 70s, I believe. And it's all stitched in. I'll show you the inside in a second. The spine, to sew in the pages, it does go through the spine, and just to cover up those stitches, this is a piece of the same fabric that is in the lining of the book. And then I took the sari silk that I used for the closure and just bunched it up and sewed in these little buttons to be some pretties. So, and then this is a doily from my stash and a little chipboard piece from Fabrica de Creux. So open her up. And this is very much a soft cover, so the only thing that is inside of here is some stabilizer. So there's no chipboard, cardboard, anything. It's just some of that really thick stabilizer. The inside, again, is another piece of fabric, another vintage piece from that same set of old fabrics. The idea of this is it's very much an art journal to kind of express yourself through the fabrics, the design papers, different elements. I looked at it as an opportunity, like I said, to learn some techniques, to try out my collaging skills with fabrics and other, I guess you would call it mixed media in a way, but it's mostly fabrics and buttons and like this little filigree piece. So there's no tags. There is a pocket. I just didn't put anything into it. It could also just be decorative. But like I said, this was a art journal. Of course, you can, add to it, add more art to it, or just enjoy the pretties. I played off of this beautiful design paper, the Shabby Dictionary. So each of the pages you can see in the background is a dictionary piece, and then she has these beautiful flowers and some beautiful images of some women, and it worked very nicely to inspire me to with the different pieces that I added. So it's It's very small, as you can see. There's only 4 signatures, and then only 2 pages. You know, it's just one folded piece each. So it's a very short little book, but as I said, this was kind of stepping out of my comfort zone, not comfort zone in terms of I felt uncomfortable, but it's just not something I've done before. So I really enjoyed kind of stretching my limbs in this one. So here we have, this is just a filigree piece that I found on Amazon here in Germany. And a couple of little brads, piece of trim, and some fabrics. And this one matches the liner fabric. The way this is put together is that you take 2 of the designer pieces and then the fabric goes down the middle. So as you can see, then it's just sewn into the spine. I didn't do anything to this page. I think there's 2 pages in here I didn't actually add anything to, not necessarily because I didn't feel like it, but I think I was having a hard time. Like I said, this was a new thing for me, and so it was kind of stretching my imagination in terms of creating pieces. So here, this is just a little chipboard piece that I found at a drugstore here with the same sari silk from the closure, just made into a cute little bow. I think it looks real sweet with this woman. See on this side, if I can figure out which direction to go so you can see it. This is a piece of lace trim, and then when I made the lining, of course I had strips and pieces left over that I've used throughout the book, and I just weaved the one piece through that to make a pretty little border. Let's see here, we've got this is, like I said, a couple of pieces are from her ephemera kit. So this is from her ephemera kit. And it's hard to see in the video. There's a piece of lace here. Let's see if I can get a little closer. It's brown, so it's kind of blending in. In real life, you see it pretty well, but at least on my monitor, and my monitor is hard to see the colors. There are quite a bit of chipboard pieces, like the one on the front, that are from Fabrica de Coru. And I just took the Moltau silver pen and colored over it just to delicate it up a bit and tie it in. Let's see on this page. This is another piece from her ephemera pack, and I just did some stitching, a little bit of trim. And this page, so I tried to work, like I said, work with the images. So this page is really just the dictionary with these little pink flowers just sprinkled across. So I didn't want to, cover anything up. I tried to really work with the page and have each page kind of inspire what was going to be on there. So while this is a big piece, it's not covering, there's no design element or what, extra little flower there. Let's see, moving on. So in this page, this is a piece of pink velvet. I don't know if you can see that. And again, this is really old velvet, and another piece of fabric, and just stitching to make kind of like a little tab. And on the other side, so like I said, this is a pocket. I don't have a tag or anything in there. I just like the look. And this piece here is actually my mother has an embroidery machine, does embroidery, and she made me a whole bunch of these little trim pieces with different elements going on them. And I thought it looked really cute, and it actually happened to have the same color, so it works so beautifully. And again, this is a postcard from one of her ephemera kits, and another chipboard piece from Fabrica de Coru. And then the other side of that little tab is just a little I think this was part of a doily, and I cut it out, and then, of course, a button. Now this one, my mother taught me as we sat how to make these little flowers, stitched flowers. So this was my first attempt, my ability to make the the little stem thing, actually, like curve was pretty much non-existent, as you can see, so it's a little jaggedy. And my flowers kind of look like they got chewed on by a bug, but other than that, I'm pretty proud how it turned out, Let's see, and then here's another, I want to say that, oops, let me try and get this in center. This is hard when it's upside down. I think this comes from her Faith kit. I'll link that down below as well, because I do believe that's one of the journal cards from the Faith kit. Another chipboard piece from Fabrica de Curo, and this is actually, I got a lot of hand embroidered or crocheted trim pieces, and I just took another ribbon and again weaved it through. And this one, I haven't done anything to. Like I said, I didn't want to cover up the pieces, and I just couldn't think of another element, so I'll let the picture. It's so pretty. Excuse me. I'll just let you. I'll move the tree to where it should be. I'll let you look at that while I take another sip of tea. So again, this is another piece of, I think it's actually a table runner, but I cut it up so much and used the pieces that I don't remember what it used to be. Another couple pieces of fabric, and again, this was a plain dictionary page, so I wanted to make a nice big element. Everybody in my family is sick, in case you heard my mother coughing. And just a little charm from my stash. And again, such a beautiful page. So nice little element up in the tab here. Here's another piece of fabric. I think this is muslin with a little button. And this piece, I loved how, look, yeah, I can seriously get this into. This is difficult upside down. I think this is my favorite page, how it turned out, because it really, I think, accentuates this image that she has on the dictionary page. The little piece of fabric. This is a piece of trim. I believe, again, it's another, it might even be a tablecloth. And I've cut it up into different strips and pieces, so that's that. And this is just another piece of muslin and fabric that I've stitched on. And then here is that piece of velvet again. The little piece of trim, I think this actually went down and I just cut off this little bit. And a nice piece of lace trim. And again, this is dictionary page. I think that I really like that she has plenty of these nice dictionary pages where you can put elements on, and so that turned out, I think I like that one too, but this is my favorite. And again, another page with this gorgeous, huge flower on it, so I didn't do anything to that one because it's just too pretty. And last but not least, a little piece of doily, same fabric as the cover, and then this is actually, I think it was a pendant, to tell you the truth. I'm not entirely certain because I got it this way. Just a pretty little ballerina. I thought it went nicely, with the little ladies in the book. So like I said, it's a very short little book. I have to say, I'm very proud of myself. Yay me. Is that, like I said, I do not sew, and there were several elements in here that I had to learn, like the flowers, and my mom helped me figure this piece out. So thank you very much, Mom, for all your help with this one. She did help me quite a bit, so yay, moms. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. Please go over to My Porch Prints. Such just beautiful papers. And she has a whole set of these wonderful shabby chic elements, papers, ephemera. So definitely go take a look at that. So I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.